there's no better education than getting out and seeing the world.
The experiences are what you're going to remember in the long run.
Getting out to see the world has just really opened my eyes to a lot of things.
I know a little bit about a lot of random things, and that's because of travel.
We're going to be able to learn so much about some really great destinations.
I'm excited about how this will improve our group itineraries.
I'm really looking forward to having great conversations about places. Welcome to Destination Dispatch.
Hello, I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Before we get started learning everything that we are going to be learning about Reno and Tahoe area, I want to take a moment to ask a favor of you. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, please make sure you take a couple moments and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little subscribe button. Also, if you ring the bell right there next to it, you'll be notified anytime we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey, and make sure to like our Facebook page as well. Well, today we're going to learn, as I said, everything that there is to know about Reno and Tahoe area. But before we do any of that, I need to bring on my co-host today. He is the host of Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Let's bring on Stevie G. Hey, Stevie.
What's going on, Jim? How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, I have to ask you, you're in the great outdoors right now. You're joining us from where?
I am in the hills of North Georgia. It is beautiful out here. We got a little bonfire going in the back, and as you can see, this is not a background. This is the actual backyard. So I am enjoying the weather. Yeah.
Well, business without boundaries. That's what we always say, and that's what you're doing today.
Yes, sir.
Well, and also, I do want to mention Keith is not joining us today because he is currently in the air. He's going to be doing some business. He's going to be in Europe, and so he's not going to join us from the airplane today, which is probably a good idea. I don't think sitting around him would like it too much if he kind of logged in right now. So,
but I'm sure he's doing business up there in the sky. So it is.
I'm sure he is.
Business without boundaries.
Exactly.
Lifestyle, but yeah.
Exactly. So, so have you been to Reno?
I have not. No, I have not. How about yourself?
No, I haven't. I've been to other areas of Nevada, and I've also been to some Northern California areas that are close to that border, but I have not been, and I'm very excited to learn more and to actually put this again on my list. And let's go ahead and bring on our guest today. She is with the Visit Reno Tahoe Convention and Visitors Bureau. I guess I'm at a loss today. But she's the tourism sales manager. Let's bring on Katie Demuth. Katie, I don't know why I got tongue tied there for a moment, but geez,
it's a lot of words. I mean, it's why we go by just Visit Reno Tahoe instead of the whole CVB's name.
Excellent. So well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really happy to have you, and we're very excited to find out more about your area. And what is it that you think about the Reno Tahoe area that makes it so appealing for tourism and for group tourism?
I think the initial draw, and like the first time someone is even researching our destination, is because we're in Nevada, everyone knows Vegas, and so then they go, oh, casinos. And I think the first time you come to Reno, that probably is one of the first things you are looking for. But I think what entices the visitor and keeps them there and makes them come back a second, third, fourth time is our great outdoors, our wide open spaces, our location. We are so conveniently located to Lake Tahoe and some historical locations. I definitely think once you've seen it, even in a video, you're kind of like, ooh, intrigued.
That's fantastic. So how easy is it for people to get to you? How easy is it for them to fly to Reno?
I would say we're pretty easy to get to. We have our own international airport right in the heart of Reno. We also, if flying maybe isn't your thing, we have an Amtrak station, so we're pretty conveniently located that way. We do have many nonstop flights across the United States, but we're also I would say a gateway in to us is through Sacramento or San Francisco. We're 2 hours from Sacramento. We're 4-ish hours from San Francisco. That's closer than even Vegas is to us.
Wow.
So, Katie, I've seen Reno described as the biggest little city, and I kind of want to ask you a little bit more about that. How did Reno get that nickname, and what does that all mean?
So, funny enough, the biggest little city moniker, we literally put it everywhere. We love it. It's near and dear to our hearts. It actually started in the 1920s. It was part of a movie, and they made this arch, and it said that on it. And it's a really, to this day, a perfect description of what Reno is. We are a city. We are not massive. We're a big city, but we like to keep our roots. So we have still kind of the rural feel of the rest of Nevada within this big city. And so it's carried on and it stuck. We've had 3 arches made that go across our main street, which is Virginia Street. It goes straight through all our casinos. It's our downtown area. And we keep that moniker and we use it all the time because we love it. It's the epitome of what Reno is.
That's wonderful. And you know, I know that Reno is known for the casinos and things like that, but also you guys have quite the arts and culture area as well. And so tell us a little bit about what Reno has to offer as far as arts and culture.
Well, I'm sure you and many people have heard of a little event called Burning Man. So
Yeah.
Burning Man is actually in our county, and we are the closest community, a bigger community, I would say, to it. And after Burning Man is over, we love to bring that arts and culture from that event into Reno. So as we started doing that, major art pieces have been put up around town. So we have a big, it's probably 30 feet long. It's 10 feet high. It's a big sign that just says, believe. It's in the middle of our downtown. It's right by our city hall. We have a big, it's called the Space Whale. And with all of these pieces coming in, I think you've seen the, the people who embrace that culture and Burning Man start to bring other factors into it. So we have the Nevada Museum of Art, which is the first and only accredited museum in the state, art museum in the state. And they have pieces there. And we have a great company called Pineapple Pedicabs that do art tours, murals everywhere. So we're just, I think, like, we love our history. We love that part of us. But I think to embrace the new parts of the community and the incoming of the Burning Man experience and things like that, we'd be denying ourselves such a wonderful piece.
So, of course, putting heads in beds is a big part of what you all do. Now, whether someone's visiting Reno for, the Burning Man event, or if there's something else going on, can you talk about like the hotel options in your area? What do people and groups have to choose from as far as like accommodations?
I would say you have everything from your major casino resorts. So we have probably 10 major casino resorts, 3 Caesar properties, right in the middle of downtown. And you have your normal brand flag properties. We have a brand new, and it's the first time in a really long time, we have a property being built right now. It's actually hopefully opening in November. It's called The Element. It's a Marriott property, and it's one of our first Marriott-owned properties versus a management company, which is a really amazing thing for us as well. And then, if it's single travel versus group, we have Airbnbs, we have bed and breakfast, we have all those smaller kind of quaint properties as well. So a little bit of everything. I say, though, for groups, some of the easiest to work with are our casino hotel properties, because that's their bread and butter as well. And they love groups there. They want to work with them, and they have open arms for them, which is always nice.
That's fantastic. And I know, as well as having all of these options, I know we spoke briefly about all of the outdoor activities that there are around your general region as well. And we were talking about how restrictive these past couple of years have been for travel and the industry in general. And one of the nice things about where you're located is you were still able to offer so many options for people to travel and do the outdoor experiences. What can you tell us about some of the outdoor experiences that there are in your region?
Oh, I think it was what kept us alive, I guess, over those restrictive years. I'd be amiss not to say Lake Tahoe is probably our best outdoor experience. I have not met one person who has not seen at least a picture of it, right? Lake Tahoe is the blue gem in the middle of the Sierras. It's hard to beat. And with that is everything from kayaking on the lake. They have clear kayaks. It's one of my favorite experiences outdoor on the lake is this company does clear kayaks so you can see straight down while you're paddling around. And the nice thing about the lake is you can see roughly 70-ish feet deep, like clear blue water. It's beautiful and gorgeous. And maybe water's not your jam. We have hiking, we have biking trails up at the lake. We're a 4-season destination. We have the most ski concentrated in one area in the United States. So the most ski resorts in such a small area. And a little bit of everything. It's where I learned to ski. It's got beginner slopes. It's got black, diamond, whatever, all the way up the wazoo. We have here in Reno, so coming off the lake is the Truckee River, and it's our main water source down here in the valley. There's amazing fly fishing on it, like some of the best. It's really great. They do tours for that. We have wonderful hiking trails in the valley that are easy for every level, or the Tahoe Rim Trail, which goes all the way around Tahoe, which is a little more expert level, I would say. But kind of a little bit of everything, all seasons. I love, and I'm not a major golfer. Like, if you're a good golfer, you don't want to take me with you. I'm not that great. But what I love about it is in like March, April, May, depending on what kind of winter we had, you could ski in the morning and you can go hit a round of 18 down here in the valley. So it's kind of a unique destination for things like that, just stuff you wouldn't think to do.
That's really cool that you would have the opportunity to both ski and golf in the same day too. So,
It's crazy.
What more could you ask for?
Is muted, and I'm back. I am back. Sorry about that. A second ago, you were talking about how the casinos do love groups. I want to ask you maybe a little bit more about that. Can you describe the casinos in your area and talk about how groups can experience casinos in Reno?
Yeah. So we have, I guess the best way to put it is we have a casino situation for everyone. So we have a Circus, and I always say those are really, Circus is super family friendly. They like groups. I think they're the easiest to work with. No offense to any of my other properties. I love you all. They have, I think what's nice about casinos, I'm getting tongue tied, just like you, Jim, earlier. I think the nice thing about casinos is they are built for groups. I think in the sense that they have the pre-built contracts, they are ready for it. They understand how groups work. Most of our casino properties have big parking areas. So if it comes with a motor coach tour, you have the ability to park literally across the street from where you're staying. The dining areas are ready for groups because they have private dining areas. They have really thought through the demographics they want, and understanding that motor coach and group tours love the casinos in the sense that on property, you could stay on property and find something to do. Circus has circus acts. They have the midway games. So if it's a younger group, they have shows, whether it be music performance or El Dorado in the wintertime does a big Christmas spectacular. The casino properties we have Grand Sierra Resort. It's off our downtown. It's our only mega resort. It's the one that has the most rooms I can't remember what quantifies it as a mega resort room quantity wise, but they have spas, they have multiple dining areas. And then I think a lot of older groups love at least a day of gambling. It's something to do that you can't do everywhere else.
Right.
So I think that's where the casinos have really found that way to work with groups, is to build itineraries and group tours that keep them on property enough, but we're in such a destination, they also push them out, which is nice.
And the thing that's great about your area too is that you have the options for those people who do want to spend a significant time in the casinos and doing that, but you also have the opposite for the people who don't want to spend time in the casinos and stuff. So, I mean, it does give you the best of all worlds. You are offering something for so many varied tastes that there's always going to be something for people to do. I know we spoke briefly before we came on air about, kind of using Reno as a home base too for people who are traveling in for multiple days to explore other areas. Let us know a little bit about where you are close enough to that other people that people can come and use Reno Tahoe area as the home base, and then kind of spoke out from there.
Yeah. It's probably my favorite feature of the area is you can spend however much time you want in Reno, but the historical area of, I think, northern Nevada is just a stone's throw away. So from like our downtown heart, you're about 45 minutes from Virginia City. And I always tell people, if you've heard of Bonanza, you've heard of Virginia City. Haas and his crew would just go down the hill on a commercial break and pop up in Virginia City. So Virginia City is a National Historic District. It's one of the largest in the nation. It still looks just like it did in the 1800s. It's a great day trip from Reno. About 30 to 40 minutes away is our state capital. That they have a wonderful walking tour. I think it's October and November, they do ghost tours, but they actually take you through their historic walking tour. You hear all that, and then they'll take you into some of the historic mansions. But our state capitol building's always open. We have the state museum there. And just a little bit further through Carson City, just a little south, is a community called Genoa, and it was our first settlement in Nevada. And it is home to Mormon Station State Park. So what's nice is you get all the modern amenities and things in Reno, but you get to be within a drive of all these wonderful historic and cultural areas as well.
That is awesome. Katie, can you tell me a little bit more about maybe the food in your area? I'd love to know about the culinary scene. Is there any recommendations as far as restaurants for groups or things like that? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Food is near and dear to my heart, so I will definitely tell you about the food scene. So it's growing here. It is so crazy. I actually opened my email this morning to my daily news email from our local newspaper, and we had 4 brand new eateries open here. And it was like a poke place, a New Mexican restaurant. So we have a little bit of everything. But the two I love to point out is if you've never heard of the Basque people, they come from an area of the Pyrenees Mountains that bordered Spain and France, I believe. We get a lot of Spanish ones here. So the Basque came over and they were sheep herders, and they ended up in this area because we have a wonderful, flat, green, great place to keep sheep. They don't require a ton of water. We don't have a ton of water. So the Basque people landed here. They brought their culture, and we have wonderful Basque restaurants. And so the cool thing about a Basque restaurant is it's family dining, and you don't get family dining at a lot of places. I know some people are a little leery about it when you hear that, but I've been to it with like a group of 4, and they'll put you at a table with a random couple because they're going to seat you where they can seat you. And I've met some of the coolest people at these restaurants because tourists end up there. Groups, they do group dining. Groups love it. It's a fun way to experience a different culture, and you can't beat the state drink, which is a pecan punch, which is a Basque drink. It's made with orange bitters and liqueur. you can only do like 2 of them, and then you'll really be experiencing Nevada. But that's a whole nother thing. And the only other thing I point out about our dining is everywhere has sushi, right? But we have all you can eat sushi, which is a little different. Not a lot of places have it. And it's bomb.
That's awesome.
I'm afraid that would be one of my favorite places to go because, yeah, all you can eat sushi. It's right where I need to be.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, this is great. And we've got so much more to talk about and so much more to explore. But before we do that, why don't we hear a little bit about some of our partners? Stevie?
Group Travel Odyssey would like to take a moment to thank our amazing partners, including Book My Group, Travel Advocates, We Travel, Broadway Inbound, and Fly My Group. These partnerships help make business without boundaries possible, and we encourage our viewers to learn more about these wonderful companies. Now, back to Destination Dispatch.
Thank you for that. And now what we would like to do is we have a sample itinerary that we're going to walk through, and I'm gonna let Katie go ahead and tell us the high points of this as we share it. And I also wanted to remind all of our GTO members that these are in the system. If you go to your template trips and you look up the trip for Reno, you will have this template in there so you can utilize it to go ahead and start planning your trip to take your people to Reno. So with that in mind, let me switch my screen here. And we're starting then here with this sample itinerary, Reno Tahoe, year-round itineraries to Reno Tahoe, 3-night itineraries. So when they arrive in Reno and Tahoe, we have an afternoon activity for them. And what is that going to be for us?
Yeah, we're definitely going to make you drop your bags and get moving, right?
Excellent.
So this itinerary, we kind of tried to bring, as we talked about earlier, the arts and culture, like that burgeoning part of our community. So the Nevada Museum of Art is a wonderful way to just kick off your time in Reno. It's right at the south end of downtown, so it's easy to get to. And then we're going to put you on a brew bag tour, which is kind of what it sounds like. It's a wagon of sorts. It fits. They have multiple ones, so a bigger group can do it, but I believe it fits 10 to 12 people, depending on the bike. And everybody's pedaling, right? Like you're pedaling, it's moving along, but you have a tour guide. So the guide's going to point out fun features in the area. You'll stop at some breweries, and you end up at a dinner location, depending on wherever the group would, I guess, choose. I tend, as I mentioned, the Basque food is one of my favorites. I tend to lean there for an opening night. It's a great way for, if the group's not crazy familiar with each other, to get to know each other, get to know Reno, see a little bit of our culture and history. And then we're going to end at dinner because everybody flew, and who isn't exhausted after flying?
True. And also after brew biking. I mean, come on.
Yeah, brew biking. Yeah, we just made you work out. So
I love it. That sounds like the perfect first day. And you can sign us up for the brew bike tour. You can.
Yes, when you come and visit, we'll do
brew
bike.
Okay, sounds good. So that basically is our first arrival day.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the next day, we've talked about food. I love food. Food's my jam. So we squeeze in, it's a restaurant, and it's exactly, the very first one is named, it was named Squeeze In because you literally squeezed in. It was a little location up in Truckee, which is Truckee, California, is 30 minutes from Reno, right on I-80. But they've grown immensely. They have multiple locations in the Reno area, and it's a great showcase. And they love groups. They love group dining. They love meeting new people. So they're always a wonderful location. And they were featured on Food Network with Bobby Flay in one of his Showdown episodes where he made an omelet and they made one of their signature omelets. And now you can go get the Bobby Flay omelet there. It's pretty phenomenal.
Excellent.
And that day, we're just going to keep moving along in Reno. So the Wilbur D. May Museum, I'm going to touch on that only because I always tell people they have to do it and you have to go find the shrunken head. I'm giving you kind of like a scavenger hunt when you go to the museum.
Okay.
This museum, the gentleman is May. If you've heard of the May stores, they were a big department store. He is the son of the original owner. He ended up here, bought a big ranch property, and he was a little kooky, a little eclectic. And so it's a lot of the things he amassed over his life on this museum, including a shrunken head that you have to go find. And then we're just going to kind of do a tour of town. You're going to see that Reno Arch. That's pretty dang famous. We're going to do a river walk tour, go through the Riverwalk District, and go to our sculpture park, which most of those sculptures are from Burning Man. We have a company called Pineapple Pedicabs. I'm not going to make you drive anymore. They'll bike you. But they'll do an art scavenger hunt, which is really fun to see. And again, that Burning Man art is pretty breathtaking sometimes. It's just crazy to see how large the pieces are when you're up close and personal with them. And who doesn't love a good selfie opportunity?
Exactly.
It's a great place to get them. And we're going to end that day with your afternoon activity at the National Automobile Museum, which is probably our largest museum in Reno. It has more than 200 cars that go from the very first Model T all the way to nowadays. And if you're a major movie fan, you can go find the DeLorean that's there. If you're a music fan, you can go find one of Elvis's Cadillacs. You can find a car in every color. It's got a little bit of everything, and it's fun because it's set up in kind of like a chronological order, so you can start from the beginning and see how cars evolved and changed from the very beginning. They have one of the very first campers, like I think it was like 1940, and it's this Ford, I believe, and it's the back end of a Ford truck is this old school camper with benches. It's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So then we're going to take you somewhere else for dinner. Probably one of our great dining locations in a casino. They're just one of the best to work with. And we wrapped up day one, and you've been busy.
And the thing is, if you do have dinner then in that casino, well, you've got some more activity planned then for after dinner. You can stick around and gamble for a bit.
Gamble, maybe taking a show. Just depends what the group's interests are, right?
Exactly. Brilliant. Okay, we're on to day 2.
In day 2, we're going to get you all fed, ready to go, and we're going to head up to Tahoe, because if you're here, you can't miss Tahoe. It's our gem. If anyone were to look at a map, it's right there, bold and beautiful. So we're going to go up there. It's roughly a 45-minute drive to our state park, which is Sand Harbor. We're going to check out some photos, maybe put your toes in the lake. I always warn people it's colder than you expect. It doesn't change much from winter temp to summer temp. It only ranges about 8 degrees.
Oh, wow.
It's all snow melt off, so it's a little brisk, but you have to say you did it. And after we've checked out Sand Harbor, we're going to head over a little further south along the lakeshore. We're going to jump on MS Dixie, which is a paddle wheeler, and do lunch and a boat tour. And we'll do a full tour of the lake.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You get to see it all without having to be stuck on a bus. You get to walk around. You can view all the different sides of the boat, and you get lunch. And again, food.
Exactly.
And after that, we're going to head back down to Reno, but we're going to take a little bit of a detour and go through Carson City so you can see the state capitol and go through their walking downtown district, and probably do dinner down there. They have some they're very local, a lot of their restaurants and stuff. You don't find a lot of chains in Carson City, so it's fun local eateries from some of our farm to table type restaurants.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Wow.
And we'll head back to Reno probably at that point, unless some cool event is going on. I will say in the region, we have more than 300 events all throughout the year. So you can almost always find something to do at night if you really want to.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. It's a fun way to spend your time, I guess.
Yeah. Excellent. And then we're back. We're getting a good night's sleep, and then we're going to do day 3.
And then day 3, we're continuing that hub and spoke type thing. And I'm going to we're going to take you to Virginia City, National Historic District. It you can pretty much see the town on a trolley tour, 20-minute trolley tour. It's narrated. And I always, if Bonanza is only your reference for Virginia City, you're going to be shocked because super flat on the TV show. It is not flat in real life. It's built into the side of a mountain because they were miners, and that's where the ore is. And so it's very hilly. So I always think the trolley tour is a great way to start. You get to see the majority of the community, and then you can kind of decide what the group may want to do at that point. But they have mine tours. They have tons of shops for great souvenirs. They have the very first Catholic church in the state there. It's still open. It's beautiful. They have the oldest standing school of its kind. It's like a Victorian, I can't remember the type of architecture it is, but there's so much to see and do there. And we would put you, enjoy lunch probably up at Piper's Opera House and have one of their local restaurants come in and chat, bring in a docent, and then depart for Reno because it's your last day.
Wow. It's brilliant. I mean, there's so much to do. And again, you've taken us through 3 days, and there's still 1,000 things you could add if you wanted to stay 4 or 5 days or even 6 days. Exactly.
Yeah, we could definitely, I can extend it. I can fill that time.
I wanted to ask you, what is one thing that you feel more people should take advantage of when they come to your location?
Ooh, you put me on the spot with this one. One thing to take advantage of. I'm going
that they don't. It's like, is there something that you think more people should do that they're just not doing at this point?
I would say that growing outdoor scene, even if it's group touring, I don't think, sorry, my watch started talking. I don't think group tours jump on the outdoor stuff as readily or easily because it's a little daunting sometimes. But there are some great ways to see the outdoors on group tours. The lake, right at the beginning of COVID, they opened a trail. It goes on the north side of the lake, northeast corner, I guess is the best way to put it. It's the East Shore Trail. It goes from Incline Village, which is right at the north where the Ponderosa Ranch was in Bonanza. And it goes all the way along the shore to Sand Harbor, the state park. They can do e-bikes. And the reason I throw out the e-bikes is they're so much easier than trying to pedal a bike. And I think as long as you can ride a bike, you can do this, and it's easier and it's accommodating for most people. I'm not going to say everyone, but for most people. And it's getting to see that outdoors in a group situation, which, like I said, they don't necessarily always think of. So that I would say is the one thing that tourists, especially group tourism, doesn't always jump on, that I think we could figure out ways for them to do it here in our area, because it's just one of the best ways to see the area. And
and I mean, that's why we
say there's too much that to miss. I mean, you can't not see the outdoors. There's just so much you guys have to offer, which is great.
And there's a way to do it. I go to tons of tourism shows. We talked about it earlier. Sitting down with a planner or an operator, there's a way to do it that will work for groups of all ages.
Right. And that's why we have you guys. I mean, that's what makes what you do so spectacular, because you can guide all of us through that whole process of putting things on our itineraries that are a little bit different, and like I said, everybody's at a rebuilding point right now, and we're looking for new, exciting ideas. We're looking for things to kind of make it a unique experience again. So, people are looking for ways to kind of spice things up and think outside of the box a little bit. And I mean, this is the perfect thing. Outdoor activities, I think, like you said, that kind of was your bread and butter for a couple of years there, and that kept you guys going. And I think people need to take advantage of that, because that's something that I don't think is ever going to go away. That's going to be a huge part of everybody's travel plans. And, thank you guys for keeping that going and developing it and giving us the information about it. And so, I think that's just wonderful. So,
well, thank you.
Are you ready for NTA?
Oh, ready might be a stretch. So I think I'm going to have to start so I have a big blank wall on the other side of my computer right now. I think I need to start a countdown, like, this is how many days left. Right? What did you have done?
Isn't it amazing? I mean, here we are, it's September 15th, and it's mind-blowing to me how quickly this year has gone. And everybody's thinking now, it's like, oh, all of these shows are coming up. And it's just like, we're getting ready for NTA. We're getting ready for this. And so I'm sure you guys are going to roll out the red carpet, because it sounds like there's just so many exciting things to do. So it's going to be a fantastic travel exchange, I'm sure.
It will be. And it's been a minute since we had it. So we had it in 2009, and so much has changed. And then we were just sent some information. Apparently before that, we had hosted in 1985. I'm not saying what my age is. I will just say that was pre-me in the world. And but they sent us all these cool ads and fun things they did. And it's just, I love that some things haven't changed. I love that we're still the biggest little city. I love those things, but it's so phenomenal to see how we've grown over those 30 plus years, nearly 40. Yeah.
And it's great when a city can keep its charm and still add to itself and keep evolving, yet keep what it's known for, and it's you guys have done a phenomenal job with that. And as we were saying, for those people who have not done so yet, you need to go to their website, because both their website and their YouTube channel has got some of the most amazing video. You guys have really got a fantastic team working on your videography and things like that. You really have, and this is just a snippet of it that we've pulled up to use, but you guys have really outdone yourself with this. If people watch this and don't want to go to Reno, there's something wrong with them. So, you guys have done a phenomenal job with it.
Well, thank you. I will share that praise with our team. I can't imagine having anyone else do this stuff for us. We talked about the videos earlier, and if I'm going to tell anyone to go to YouTube and find any video, you have to go find our mayor video. I think it's U.S. Conference of Mayors video, and meet our mayor. She is a Spitfire, and if she doesn't make you want to be her best friend in that video, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up right after this, because I mean, you gave us a couple things that, to look for with her. And so I'm going to go take a watch. That's for sure. But if people want more information and want to reach out for you, I know we've been putting some information up, but how can they reach you and how can they get more information?
So I'm going to say the easiest way is to head to our website. It's visitrenotahoe.com. And up in the upper right corner, I love that I'm showing you with my hands, but in the upper right corner, it's going to say travel planner. If you click on that, it's going to give you some fun itineraries, videos, but it also has my contact information, very easily accessible right there. It's going to have my email, which it's on the screen and you can jot it down. That's going to be your easiest way to get in touch with me. There's also a form on that website you can fill out if you just have really general questions that someone from our tourism team will answer, probably me, but just in case. Those are probably the easiest ways. Our website is phenomenal. It has so much stuff, and so do all our social medias as well, which again, easiest way to find us, Reno Tahoe. It's on all, that's our name on every social platform.
Brilliant.
Perfect. Yeah, your social media is, like we said, spot on. It's great.
We have a wonderful team. They're great.
Wonderful. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining us today and giving us all this information. I've learned a lot. I can't wait to come. Stevie and I are going to come take a brew bike tour. So I'll let you know.
Let's book it.
Well, thank you both. This was
You're
awesome.
so welcome. You are so welcome. And I hope to see you very soon.
Yes.
Okay. Take care, Katie.
Bye.
Bye. Well, just a reminder that Destination Dispatch does happen on Thursdays at 2:00. If you're not watching it live, That means you've already found our YouTube channel. But if you didn't realize that, all of the episodes of Destination Dispatch are on our YouTube channel. So make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Group Travel Odyssey, and you can subscribe to that, ring that bell. You'll be notified anytime that we do put new content on there. Again, make sure to follow the rest of our social media as well on Facebook. You can like our Facebook page, Group Travel Odyssey. You can also like or connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey as well. If you need more information on Group Travel Odyssey, again, go to our website. You can go to the teams. All of our contact information is there for our team members. You can reach out to any of us, and we'll be more than happy to set up a demo of Group Travel Odyssey for you and your team as well. We do offer another program on Tuesdays, which is called Coach and Go. For those of you who are members of GTO, it's a time on Tuesdays where we get together and we share a little bit of information, updates, pointers, new launches, things like that to kind of help you with the day-to-day activities in using GTO and using Group Travel Odyssey. So make sure to hit us up on all of those. Stevie, what can you tell us about your podcast, Destinations Beyond Expectations?
I will tell you about the podcast, but I do want to quickly mention that we're starting to kind of segment our Coach and Goes and Destination Dispatches on YouTube, which is great because now what you can do is if you don't want to watch a whole section or you want the important information, you can actually go to the show notes and find the chapter of what you want to watch. So be sure to check that out on our YouTube page too, and our recent videos. But Destinations Beyond Expectations is the podcast designed for students of travel. You can visit the website, dbetravel.com, to check out more, or you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. New episodes every Friday, and tomorrow I'll be reviewing a 2-day Paris, France itinerary with my guest. So really looking forward to sharing that with everyone.
Fantastic. That's great. Well, again, I wanted to thank our guest today, Katie Demuth from Visit Reno Tahoe. Got a lot of great information. And again, make sure for those of you who are watching to reach out to her if you need more information. And Stevie, thank you for joining us. Again, I'm a little bit jealous of where you are right now, sitting out in the woods, working out in the woods. I mean, my God, it's wonderful. Business without boundaries.
Jinx. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Take care.
Thank you for watching this episode of Destination Dispatch. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including GTO Coach and Go and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.